Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is the instructions for the huge part um, of our grade this semester, the Global Health Issues and Ethics paper. This is worth a total of 175 points. Now, because I think very much like a student and realize that what I would expect you to do and what I probably would have done given this assignment is write it the night before, poop it out, probably 2 or 3 hours before it's due and hope that I get a decent amount of points on it. Well, that's all well and good, and I can certainly admit to the fact that some of my best papers are those that have been written with 2 hours to spare. That's really not what I'm after in this particular paper, and knowing that that's how most of us work, I have broken the assignment down into 4 parts so that we're not getting overwhelmed. We're kind of doing one chunk at a time, and that way I think it better allows you to achieve the learning outcomes for this assignment. So this particular paper that I've posted on Blackboard breaks down the assignment and what the purpose of it is, and kind of goes over the fact that I really don't care about formatting despite what the syllabus says. You can format it in whatever style you want. What I am really looking for is quantity, honesty, thoughtfulness, passion, and content. So I want you to put your heart into this. I would say your heart and soul, but you guys have got little to spare with everything you've got going on. So just put a lot of effort into this, and I would appreciate it. It's a really hard paper to fail. That being said, there is one way that you can fail it, and that is if you do not cite your resources in text. One of the chunks of this paper, not to confuse everything, but one of the chunks of this paper will be for you to provide me with 10 possible references that you'll be using. Now, when we get to the final part of this paper, when you're really writing the guts of it, if you are using, and I would expect you to, use any of those resources that you have provided in part 2 or 3 of the paper, you should be citing that resource in the text. And this is something that I will not cut you any slack on. If you do not cite sources in the text of the paper, in this final part of the paper, now certainly if you use resources in any earlier part, I would expect them to be cited, but this is really, really important for the last part of the paper. If you don't cite those citation or resources in text, you will fail the assignment. So if you're ever in doubt, please ask me. I will give you the lowdown on it. Or if you just want to be safe and not sorry, cite. If ever in doubt, just cite. So breaking the assignment down, like I said, since it's large and involved, and in order for you to get the most out of it and give myself a little bit of breathing room as far as grading, we're going to break this down into 4 parts. So for this week, certainly read this entire document, but really the only thing that you need to be concerned with this week is part 1. So I would like a 1 to 2 page synopsis on the topic that you are interested in learning about, or something that you may have a passion for now and why you've chosen to write on it. So this is an opportunity to share your opinion on things. For instance, I might write on malaria. It's a global issue that I have an interest in learning more about. So in this 1 to 2 page paper, that's what you would describe. It's pretty simple. You don't have to have great writing chops on this particular part. And if you look at this document, I've got the due dates for each of those assignments down. So I know I have people that are very logical and methodical and like to have dates and have everything planned. So here you go. Here's the 4 parts and when they're due and what each part is worth. Please, please, please feel free to be honest. As you know, I do not believe in sharing my students' papers with anyone else, because I want to encourage that environment of honesty and openness. So please feel free to state your opinion, even if it doesn't align with mine. I think that is the great thing about this class, is I have been informed on topics where I thought I had a pretty solid stance on it, and after reading some of my students' papers, that stance is no longer solid and may have very well been changed. So we can learn from each other. Also, one thing to note on all of these parts of the assignment is I'm not going to accept any late submissions. There are one or two of you that I know have extenuating circumstances, which we've already talked about, but by and large, I'm not going to accept late assignments because it just causes such a pain in grading. Trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to share on this. On that final part, there will be a rubric posted so that you know exactly what I'm looking for as far as content. Everything else, it's pretty loosey-goosey. I really just want your heartfelt thoughts, opinions, why a particular subject interests you. Whether it's something that you have a passion for, or something you want to learn more about, or something that maybe you've read in the text that kind of piqued a curiosity. That's what I want to hear. So hopefully this explains this particular assignment, and I will go over this each time that we have another segment of the assignment due. So please feel free to ask questions in the meantime, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks.